They crossed the tree line at 6:42. The last sound of the outside world did not fade. It stopped. Not muted, not swallowed. Stopped, as if something had decided noise was no longer permitted. Evan Holt noticed it when his boot pressed into the soil and made no sound at all. He lifted his foot and set it down again, harder this time. Nothing. Behind him, Lena Brooks whispered, "Why is it so quiet?" No one answered. Even breathing felt intrusive. The forest looked ordinary in the way a lie often does. Tall trees with pale bark stood evenly spaced, their branches frozen mid-sway despite the wind that should have been there. Sunlight filtered down in soft, careful beams that felt arranged rather than natural. Evan had the uncomfortable sensation of stepping into a place that had been prepared for them. "Radio check," he said. Caleb Wright tapped his headset. Static hissed, then his own voice echoed back, delayed and warped. "Radio check." Caleb frowned. "Feedback." "Log it," Evan said. "I already am," Caleb replied, after a pause that felt too long. That was when a single tree ahead rustled. Just one. Its branches moved gently, like something acknowledging it was being watched. Then it went still again. They walked deeper. An hour passed before they found the footprints. Marisol Vega crouched slowly, hands hovering inches above the ground. Bare feet, adult-sized, pressed deep into soil that should not have held them so clearly. "These aren't old," she said quietly. Evan scanned the woods. "Hikers?" Marisol shook her head. "These were made minutes ago." Lena's voice trembled. "But there's no one here." The footprints ended abruptly. No sign of turning, no disturbance beyond them. Just stopped, as if whoever made them had decided the ground was optional. Jonah Price crossed himself without thinking. People don't disappear like that. The forest did not disagree. It simply waited. At 11:13, the GPS failed. Caleb stared at the screen. "It says we're heading north." Marisol squinted at the sun. "We're going west." Evan checked the map. "Trail says east." They stood too long, suspended between options. A branch creaked somewhere ahead, not from wind, but from weight. The ground beneath Evan's feet seemed to tense. "We go north," Evan said. The moment the words left his mouth, the underbrush behind them thickened. Vines curled over the path they had taken, thorns blooming where there had been open space seconds earlier. The forest closed the door they had not chosen. Lena swallowed. Did it just decide? No one corrected her. By nightfall, the voices began. They were not loud. They did not threaten. They whispered familiarity into the dark. Caleb heard his daughter asking why he hadn't called. Jonah heard a confession he had buried years ago spoken back to him in his own voice, every word precise. Marisol heard her sister laughing the way she used to before the river took her. Lena heard Evan. "Don't stop," his voice murmured from behind her. She turned. Evan was ahead, silent, focused. "Did you say something?" she asked. "No," he said. The forest repeated it, softer now. "Don't stop." They found one of the missing hikers just after midnight. He stood in a clearing, rigid and upright, eyes open, breathing shallow but steady. His feet were caked with dirt. His lips were split and bleeding. "Sir," Jonah said gently, approaching, "we're here to help." The man's eyes twitched. "Don't," he whispered. "Please don't make me." "Make you what?" Lena asked. He swallowed painfully. "Decide." Evan stepped forward. "We're taking you out." The man screamed. The clearing contracted. Trees bent inward. Roots surfaced like fingers clawing toward the air. The ground rippled beneath their boots. "Stop!" the hiker sobbed. "If you move me, it'll ask again." Evan hesitated. The forest noticed. Something shifted beneath the soil, vast and slow, rolling closer. The air thickened, heavy with expectation. Marisol grabbed Evan's arm. "Now," she said. "Choose." Evan's jaw tightened. "Leave him." The forest relaxed. The man's scream cut off mid-breath. Not silenced, revoked. They walked away while he stood frozen behind them, alive, forever suspended in the moment before a choice. Lena cried openly. No one told her not to. By the third day, they understood. Kindness attracted attention. Mercy prolonged suffering. Hesitation was fatal. Caleb stopped recording when the camera began showing footage of arguments they had not yet had. Evan shouting with blood on his hands. Lena begging someone unseen not to leave her. Jonah stopped praying when the forest began finishing his prayers for him. Marisol stopped offering directions. Evan stopped believing leadership meant control. The forest did not reward cruelty. It rewarded certainty. When the thinning of trees appeared, it did not feel like hope, just permission. Only 3 of them were left. The light ahead was flat and colorless, like something printed rather than real. Evan reached it first. His boots struck gravel, and the sound shocked him so badly he nearly fell. Noise rushed back in wind. Distant birds, the faint hum of a road. Marisol followed, bleeding, silent. Jonah collapsed at the tree line, sobbing without words. They waited. Minutes passed. Then an hour. No one else emerged. Jonah whispered, "We should go back." Evan did not answer. He was listening to the silence behind them, to the forest sealing itself shut, satisfied. The rescue team found them at dawn without crossing the tree line. Blankets, questions, hands that felt unreal. "What happened in there?" someone asked. Evan opened his mouth. Nothing came. He could describe routes, distances, terrain, but every time he reached the moment Lena stopped walking, his thoughts slid away, blurred and unreachable, like words erased while being written. The report was clean. Psychological stress, disorientation, tragic loss. The forest was closed. Signs were posted. Drones flew overhead and returned with footage of trees. Only trees. Lena Brooks was declared dead. Evan attended her memorial. He stood beside her parents and accepted their thanks for trying. He did not tell them that courage had made her hesitate. Weeks later, Evan woke in the night to silence. Not the quiet of sleep, the wrong kind. He sat up slowly. His bedroom window looked out onto trees. Tall, pale, motionless. He wasn't back in the forest. The forest had come with him. Understanding settled without panic. Briarwood had not spared him because he was strong. It had spared him because he had learned. He crossed to the mirror. His reflection lagged behind not by time, but by intention. When it smiled, a question surfaced in his mind, fully formed. Would you choose the same way again? Outside, the trees shifted slightly, as if adjusting their stance. Months later, at the edge of Briarwood Forest, a new search team gathered. A rookie paused at the tree line. "Do you hear that?" she asked. No one else did. She frowned into the woods. "I thought I heard someone say my name." Deep inside the forest, bare footprints appeared in the soil, fresh, careful, leading forward, and something old and patient practiced a human voice, learning how to ask. They crossed the tree line at 6:42. The last sound of the outside world did not fade. It stopped. Not muted, not swallowed. Stopped, as if something had decided noise was no longer permitted. Evan Holt noticed it when his boot pressed into the soil and made no sound at all. He lifted his foot and set it down again, harder this time. Nothing. Behind him, Lena Brooks whispered, "Why is it so quiet?" No one answered. Even breathing felt intrusive. The forest looked ordinary in the way a lie often does. Tall trees with pale bark stood evenly spaced, their branches frozen mid-sway despite the wind that should have been there. Sunlight filtered down in soft, careful beams that felt arranged rather than natural. Evan had the uncomfortable sensation of stepping into a place that had been prepared for them. "Radio check," he said. Caleb Wright tapped his headset. Static hissed, then his own voice echoed back.